a question about opposition and about Saudi Arabia, about that. These are regular calls that come from so-called Muslims who have a lot of hatred against Saudi Arabia. And if you analyze their hatred, you find that they hate Saudi Arabia because it's an Islamic country, because it claims that it has Islamic Sharia applied in their courts as the only country that does this, alhamdulillah. They hate Saudi Arabia because it has Mecca and Medina, and all the pilgrims and all the Muslims look up to it. So they try to discredit it in any way they can. And they talk as if they are living in utopia. And they speak about Saudi Arabia as if it is the most corrupt country in the world, not knowing that it is one of the only countries in the world where Muslims can practice Islam without any fear, alhamdulillah. We have places for tahfidh al-Quran for our children. We go to the masjids without any problem. We have masjids in every single corner where you go. Women live freely and can commute and can go wherever they want without anyone raping them or harassing them or ordering them to unveil their faces. We have zakat being distributed. We have the salah being observed and called for. We have everything that people envy us. So these imbeciles usually that call and say that opposition, etc. Look what your opposition did for you. Now, what happened in Egypt? What happened in Yemen? What happened in Tunisia? What happened in Syria? What is happening in Iraq? Now, compare this to 5 years ago. They would pay their lives just to get back to 5 years ago where they were. These tyrants, they say, the kafir, the disbeliever tyrants, they were ruling their country. They were giving them a shelter. They were giving them food. They were giving education. They had health care. They used to travel freely without any problem. Look at them now. In their millions, they're misplaced. They're refugees. They're beggars, begging people for food. Is this jihad? Is this what you call freedom? This is not freedom. This is actual abuse of Islamic teachings. And Islam does not tell you this. Allah tells us in the Quran, if you are met by 10, you have to flee and leave. And then Allah Azza wa Jalla reduced it and said that if you meet double your size, then you're not obliged to fight. Facing the army of the state and killing and misplacing and making the total population of your country as refugees, begging people for mercy and dying in overseas and trying to get a decent life. Is this Islam? These imbeciles have no knowledge of Islam. They don't know the Quran. They don't speak even Arabic. They don't have knowledge in the basics of jurisprudence. Even if they answer the call of nature, wallahi, they don't know how to do that either. So, Halima and the likes of them, get a life. For Allah's sake, get a life. Leave people and let them live and practice and worship Allah as they wish.